Unit 6, Day 3, Bell ringers. Two systems of a linear equation are given. Indicate whether each system has no solution, one solution, or infinitely many solutions. So part A, we have y equals negative x, and then 7y equals negative 7x. So I'm going to take this negative 7, change my color real quick. I'm going to take this y equals negative x, I'm going to take this negative x, and I'm going to sub it in for my y here. So now I have 7 times negative x equals negative 7x. And then I'll end up with negative 7x equals negative 7x. Divide by negative 7. And I have x equals x. So part A is infinitely many solutions. Part B, go ahead and move this square root 23 down. So we have y equals 7x plus 1 and y equals negative 8. So we'll take this, change color to help with confusion. We'll take this negative 8 and I'm going to sub it in for my y. Okay? And we'll kind of move over here. So now I have negative 8 equals 7x plus 1. Subtract 1 from both sides. I have negative 9 equals 7x. Divide by 7. X equals negative 9 over 7. And then I know my y is negative 8, so my ordered pair would be negative 9 over 7 over negative 8. So this has only one solution. Evaluate square root 23 to the nearest tenth. So in your calculator, you would put you'll put second x squared 23, and you would get 4.79. We want to round to the nearest tenth, so it would be 4.8, approximately 4.8. Rotations. A rotation is a transformation that turns a figure about a fixed point called the center rotation. A figure has rotational symmetry if it can be rotated 180 degrees or less and exactly matches its original figure. The angle of rotation is the number of degrees the figure rotates. So rotations. Center rotation, if you turn it 1 time, it's 90 degrees, 2 times it's 180, 270 is 3 times, and 360 is 4 times. Clockwise is to the right, and counterclockwise is to the left. Okay, you'll need to make sure that you write in 90, 180, 270, and 360, because it didn't print out good on your printout, and then you need to make sure clockwise to the right and counterclockwise to the left. We're going to graph the image ABC after rotation of 90 degrees about the origin. Name the coordinates of the vertices A prime, B prime, and C prime. Okay? The way that you need to do it is you need to take your picture, or not your picture, you need to take your paper, and you need to turn your paper 1 time to the right. So your paper's up and down right now. You need to turn it 1 time to the right. So your paper's actually going to look like this now. Okay, and this is going to be your top here. Okay, we now have a new coordinate grid. This is now your y, and this is now your x. Okay? And I know that A, right here, A prime, I'm going to count where A is. A is 1, 2, 3, 4. So A is at 4. A prime will be at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Negative 5, because it's positive 4 on the x, negative 5 on the y. B prime will be negative 1, negative 1. And C prime will be located at -3, -4. Okay. I'm going to turn my screen back to the correct way. So now you're going to turn your paper back to where the top is at the top. And you're going to graph your new points. So we're going to go 4, -5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then down -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is A prime. B is at -1, 1. So this is B prime. And C is at -3, -4. C prime. And we rotated our triangle ABC 90 degrees about the origin. When it doesn't say counter or clockwise, we're always going to use clockwise. And we named our new coordinates. 2. Graph the image rectangle ABCD after rotation of 270 degrees about the origin. So we're going to go clockwise. Name the coordinates of the vertices A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. So the same way, you're going to take your paper, you're going to turn it one time to the right, you're going to turn it again to the right, and then you're going to turn it again to the right. So now your paper should look like this. And here's your paper, and this should be your top. So now this is going to be my Y, and this is going to be my X. And I'm going to look for my new coordinates. A prime is at -2, 3. B prime is -2, -3. C prime is 2, 3. And D prime is 2, -3. So now I'm going to flip my paper back up the correct way, and I'm going to plot my new points. So A is going to be -2, -3. So this is, or -2, 3. So this is A prime. B is -2, -3. This is B prime. C is 2, 3. C prime. And D is 2, -3. Oops. D will be at 2, 3. D prime will be at 2, 3. And C prime will be at 2, -3. So I have taken my rectangle ABCD and I rotated it 270 degrees clockwise about the origin, and my new triangle of A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. Remember, the vertex is asking for the point, okay? So on your graph, your paper will look like this. A prime will be here, D prime will be here, C prime is here, and B prime is here. Graph triangle JKL with vertices J, 1, -3, K, 6, -2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and L, 6, -4. Graph the three images formed by rotating 90 degrees, 180, and 270 about the origin. give the coordinates of the vertices of each image. Okay, so I'm going to do 90. I'm going to switch my color for this to help me see out. Okay, so you're just going to take it, and we're going to go clockwise. I'm going to turn one time to the right. And at 90 degrees, J prime is at -3, -1. K prime is at -2, -6. And L prime is at -4, -6. So I'm going to plot my new point. So -3, -1 is J prime. K is at -2, -6. This is K prime. And L is -4, -6. L prime. Okay, so we've gone 90 degrees here. We're going to go back to our paper at the top. And we're going to now we're going to go 180. So we're going to move our paper twice clockwise. So 1, 2. So now your top is now at your bottom. Okay? And at 180 degrees, we're going to call this J double prime, is at -1, 3. K double prime is at -2 or -6, 2. And L prime is at -6, 4. So I'm going to go ahead and plot these. So -1, 3 is J double prime. -6, 2 is K prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is K prime. And -6, 4 is L prime. Okay, so now you're going to take you plotted your new point. You're going to take your top of your paper again, and you're going to rotate it 3 times this time. 1, 2, 3. So now your paper is going to look like 1, 2, 3. Your top is going to be right over here. It's going to be your top for your 270. So you're going to find your points on your original graph. And for 270, this will be J triple prime. So J triple prime is located at 3, 1. K triple prime is located at 2, 6. And L triple prime is located at 4, 6. So 3, 1 is J prime, or J triple prime. K is at 2, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. K prime. And L prime's at 4, 6. There you go. So we have, this is your 90 degree, 180, and your 270 degree rotation. J, -4, -4. K, -4, 2. L, -1, 0. And M is -2, -3. You're going to take your paper and you're going to turn it twice. So now your paper, your top is going to be on your bottom, okay? So now we're going to find our new coordinates of our new points, or our J prime, K prime, L prime, and M prime. So J prime is at 4, 4. K prime is at 4, -2. L prime is at 1, 0. And M prime is at 2, 3. And so we're going to turn your paper back the correct way. the top at the top, and you're going to plot your new point. So 4, 4 will be J. K, 4, negative 2. L, 1, 0, or L prime, and K prime. And M is 2, 3. M prime. You've taken your shape and you've rotated it 180 degrees about the origin. And that's your new shape. So now I have P at negative 3, 2, Q at 6, 1, and R at negative 1, negative 5. This is my triangle. And now we're going to rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise this time, okay? So when you go counterclockwise, you're going to turn it to the left once, okay? So when you do that, your top of your paper is right here. And your new coordinates, here's your graph. This would be your Y, and this would be your X now. So your X becomes your Y, and your Y becomes your X. I have to label Q. So Q will be right here, P, and then R. So P prime will be located at negative 2, negative 3. Q prime is located at 5, negative 1. And R prime is located at negative 1, 6. So I'm going to graph my new triangle. P prime, negative 2, negative 3. This is P prime. 5, negative 1 is Q prime. And then negative 1, 6 I mixed up these. So this is actually R prime and this is Q prime. So here, this would be R prime. And then Q prime is at negative 1, negative 6. Negative 1, 6. This is Q prime. You have your new triangle. P prime, Q prime, and R prime has been rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. Okay. A, 5, 3. B, 4, negative 1. C, 1, negative 1. That's my triangle. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. So you're going to turn your paper one time. So now your top will be right here. Okay. Got to label my points. So A, B, C. So now A prime is located at 3, negative 5. B prime is located at negative 1, negative 4. And C prime is located at negative 1, negative 1. Okay. I'm going to rewrite those so you can see them correctly too. So A prime is 3, negative 5. So 3, negative 5 will be A prime. B prime is negative 1, negative 4. And C prime is negative 1, negative 1. And there's your triangle. It's been rotated 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. 13, we have A, 2, negative 2, B, 4, negative 1, C, 4, negative 3, and D, 2, negative 4. Oop, I did this one wrong. So that's not going to make a shape. 4, negative 3 is C, and then 2, negative 4 is D. We're going to go 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. So now you're going to take your paper and you're going to turn it to the left one time. So now the top of your paper is here, okay? And you're going to use your new graph. So this now becomes your Y and this is your X, okay? So according to my rotated paper, my shape is now going to be located in quadrant 1, okay? So it's going to be A prime is going to be at 2, 2. B prime is going to be at 1, 4. C prime at 3, 4. And D prime at 4, 2. So I'm going to graph my new points. A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. There's your new shape. We're going to graph F, 1, 2, G, 3, 5, H, 3, 2, about the origin, 180 degrees about the origin. So we're going to go clockwise about the origin. So we're going to take our paper and we're going to turn it twice to the right. 1, 2. So now the top of your paper is at the bottom, okay? And now my shape is in quadrant 3 because this is my Y and this is now my X, okay? So I'm in quadrant 3 now. So my new shape is going to be in quadrant 3. And F prime is negative 1, negative 2. G prime, negative 3, negative 5. And H prime is negative 3, negative 2. I'm going to plot my new points. 1, negative 2 is F prime. Negative 3, negative 5 is G prime. Negative 3, negative 2 is H prime. And I've rotated my shape 180 degrees about the origin. P, negative 3, 4. Negative 1, 4 is Q. R, negative 2, 1. And S, negative 4, 1. We're going to go 270 degrees clockwise about the origin. So you're going to turn your paper 3 times. So your paper's up and down. Then it's going to go 1 time. And your top is to your right. 2 times, your top is at the bottom. 3 times, your top is to the right. Or to the left. So your paper will look like this where the top is. Okay? And now my shape is in quadrant 3 because this is my Y and this is my X. Okay? So my shape is going to be in quadrant 3. It's going to be P prime is at negative 4, negative 3. Q prime is at negative 4, negative 1. R prime is at negative 1, negative 2. And S prime is at negative 1, negative 4. So I'm going to plot my new shape. Rotated 270 degrees clockwise about the origin. So negative 4, 3 would be your P prime. Q, negative 4, 1, Q prime. Negative 1, negative 2 is R prime. And S is negative 1, negative 4, S prime. we're going to write the rule to describe the transformation, okay? So one way to do this is you can take your points, you can take your original point here, which is V is at 2, 0, and V prime is at -2, 0. So if I rotate my paper one time, I say that V will be at 0, -2, so that doesn't match. If I rotate my paper again, I notice that my V is at -2, 0, which matches my V prime. So we turned it 180 degrees clockwise. We're going to skip this one. So skip slide number 14. So we're going to rotate JKLM 90 degrees about the origin, and then we're going to translate J prime, K prime, L prime, and M prime 6 units to the right and up 4 units. Okay, it doesn't tell us which way to go. We're going to go this time, we're going to go counterclockwise. Okay, we're going to go counterclockwise this time. And we're going to go counterclockwise. So you're going to take your paper and you're going to turn it to the left one time. So now your shape is now in quadrant 3. Okay? So J prime is now located at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It will be, I'm sorry, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. -8, -10. K prime is at -8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at -6. M prime is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5, -10. And L prime is at -5, -6. So I'm going to plot my points now. So -8, -10, be J prime. -8, -6 is K prime. M is -5, 10, -10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And L is 5, -5, -6. So now we're going to translate my image 6 units to the right and up 4 units. And we'll start with K prime. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So K double prime, we'll call this K double prime, is now located at -2, -2. L prime, we'll translate it 6 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is L double prime. It's located at 1, -2. J, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So J double prime is now located at -2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -6. And then M double prime would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is M double prime. Let's look at it at 1, -6. So we rotated our shape, and then we translated our shape. Graph triangle MNP with vertices M at -2, 2, N -4, 2, and P -4, 5. Reflect triangle MNP across the y-axis. Then reflect this image across the x-axis. How can you find the same final image using a single rotation? Okay, so to reflect first, so this is going to be MNP. So M is 2, so this would be M. N is 4, and P is 4. So there's my reflection over the x-axis. So now I'm going to reflect over the y-axis. Now I'm going to reflect over the x-axis. So M is 2 above, so M is going to be 2 below. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to find that shape with using a single rotation, you could take your original triangle and you can rotate it clockwise 180 degrees. So let's check it. Okay, so looking at your paper, you're going to turn your paper twice. 1, 2. So now your paper is upside down, and now you're in quadrant 4. Yep. So that is correct. It's going to be 180 degrees clockwise.